Hello and welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Last episode we um, helped, actually, we did so much last episode that I can barely remember any of it, but I do know that
I'm gone.
we dealt with a bunch of Escavers, which are like demonic insects. Um, we talked to Ember a little bit at the end of last episode. We did quite a bit. Um, but let's just keep going here. We're now in the Moon Dance Meadow, which was a location that didn't really have a quest or anything, but I thought might as well try to come here and see what's up. Level 14 neutral evil.
A bright future awaits us.
Let's buff up here.
Don't mind me.
And I think that's gonna be it for now. And let's just have Remie charge in there.
Can we retreat
Two
away?
Smilodons.
Attack!
Okay, we killed it. Valiant got all sorts of fucked up, but we did it. Cold iron. Master Candax. Let's just kind of look around here. See, look for anything else. We did pick up a unique bow, I think it was. This. Keen composite longbow. Okay, it's not like unique, but it's different. It's keen. Ability doubles the threat range of a weapon. This benefit doesn't stack with any other weapons that expand the threat range of a weapon. Excuse me. Is there anything else here? What does this say? What? And this again? Or is it just using the same map? Okay. This is the exact same map as the, but instead, like this here, yeah, you could see it. So, this was a cave entrance. Well, it is a cave entrance, but they just put rocks in front of it to, so that they can reuse maps. Because this is the same map as the, I'll show it here in a second. When we get to the world map, I'll point out the location. The Moon Dance Meadow and the Conundrum Unsolved, same map, same exact map. Alright, let us... Oh shit, I'm fatigued. I literally got fatigued the moment I stepped on here. Well, let's rest as soon as we sit down. Let's camp right here. Let's see about changing this.
I haven't made a confession for a long time. Of course, we have different goddesses, but still. Could you listen to my confession?
Of course. Let's go somewhere we won't be overheard.
Okay. Let's move forward. We know there's enemies here. There's Jurna. Jurna walked a young priest of Arasto you first met during the events in Canabris. He pauses in front of a few trees, lingering there for some time. He seems to be examining something carefully. At the sound of your footsteps, he turns around, abruptly, but the anxious expression on his face quickly gives way to an amiable smile. Commander, it's so good to see you. It seems you found time to visit our quiet backwater after all. I could be mistaken, but it looked like you were frightened by my arrival. Oh no, you startled me, that's all. It's my overactive imagination. I still can't get used to living in such a small village. The town where I grew up was a good deal larger, and it was located near a trade route, so there were always lots of new faces, and plenty of people bustling around. Here, though, it's different. The moment you step outside the village, you're all alone. You can walk for miles in any direction with only the birds and animals for company. This is, of course, the way Erastil teaches us to live, but truth be told, it still makes me feel somewhat uncomfortable. Why were you looking at those trees? See for yourself. I keep finding them here in the grove. I think it's some kind of local ritual. It's just a small doll made of grass and seaweed tied with a blue ribbon. I've asked the villagers to tell me what it means, but they won't give me an answer. I just don't understand the reason for all this secrecy. It's probably like a ritual or something to prevent demons or something. How do you like living in the village? I'm getting used to the way of things. I still get the occasional sidelong glance from the locals, but that's not surprising. After all, I'm just some stranger who decided to show up without an invitation and settle down in the village. But the church warned us about this. Such caution is to be expected at first. I just have to do my best to earn their trust. I heal, I purify the water, I give blessings. Sooner or later they will accept me as one of their own. It's so quiet here. War makes you forget what peace feels like. I understand. My time in Canobris gave me a small taste of war. I only had to live through it for a few days, but I know the horrors I witnessed will haunt my nightmares for years to come. I cannot imagine how hard it is for those like yourself, soldiers who had given their lives to this cause. You have chosen to fight there in order to protect our peaceful and quiet life here, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. That reminds me, how does he know I'm a commander? He wasn't at the camp. He might have heard, of course, but I thought he left before that happened. But anyway. What do the locals think of Erastil? They're indifferent. They are pragmatic people. You know, they don't have time for theology. If old Deadeye helps them survive, that's good enough for them. You know, some priests get overzealous with sermons. They demand that people pray, observe all the rituals, make sacrifices, and then those priests, all holy and pious, are surprised when locals kick them out of the village, right into the nearest ditch. I was taught differently. First, you have to prove your worth. You have to show them why you and your deity are useful. It's only after they've begun to trust you and start asking questions about your faith that you can really share your beliefs. Then you can tell them all about old Deadeye and his teachings. That's reasonable. He has a good head on his shoulders. Well then, will you show me around the village? Of course, let's go. You'll get to meet the locals, see how we live. Maybe you'll even manage to get some peace and quiet, a temporary respite from the hardships of war. Don't be offended if they start gawking at you. In this remote village, people have never seen a foxkin. Come to think of it, people have never seen your kin where I grew up either. And I bet that even in Canobris you'd seem exotic to many. But I have already explained everything to the locals as best I could, so that they shouldn't stare too openly or ask silly questions. Okay. What's this way? Oh, just water. Let's not kill any of the animals.
Tread lightly.
No reason to. It's like 1 XP. And that's pretty worthless amount of XP. What a beast. We've got you now. That's a Hydra. Watch out for those huge teeth. Don't let them catch you. Aim for her throat and belly. Fewer scales there. Don't be afraid, everyone. We fought ones bigger than this. Are they gonna kill her? No, they're not gonna kill. Whoa, they might kill her.
No time for debates.
They've lost a couple people already. Well, one person at least. Okay, I think it's Skipper's turn.
I'll hit you.
Killed the Hydra. That'll teach you to mess with us. Something got them all worked up. That's the second time they crawled out this month. So let them come. It's not the first time and it won't be the last. But what's it matter? They can't hurt us and we can use their hides to make a lot of waterproof coats and cloaks. You lost someone. Someone died. Oh, no, I guess he didn't. Marquil, Melissa, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This is Remie, the commander of the Crusade. She's the one I told you about. Ah, a real hero in our little backwater? It's so nice of you to drop by. We've never had anyone so important come to visit. Heroic acts are important, but sometimes it's good to leave the front lines and talk to ordinary people like living ordinary lives. Anyway, welcome to Chili Creek. Hydras are usually far more dangerous. That beast was not at its full strength. I can tell you have an eye for such things. Well, of course she does. She's the commander of the Crusade. She probably could have told you all that with her eyes shut. It's all thanks to our mother, Icy Rill. She takes care of her children. Won't anyone hurt them. She fills our nets with fish and drives away the monsters. It's their god. That's right, and if she doesn't drive the beasts away, she'll weaken them so we can kill them and harvest their hides. Icy Rill, who is that? She's right here. Did you think this was the Selin? No, it'd take you half a day's rowing before you reach that river. It's big, to be sure, and very important. The Selin flows through at least a dozen countries. But where would the Great Selin be if it wasn't fed by thousands of little streams and creeks, such as our dear Icy Rill? The people of Chili Creek hold the river in great reverence. How can we not? Our whole lives are built around the river. From the wedding wreath we send down its stream to the funeral boat that floats away on the waters when the time comes. Our mother, Icy Rill, feeds us, gives us water, protects us. The gods are far away, but our Icy Rill is right here, so we treat her with respect. The two of you look very much alike. I assume you're related. Right you are. She's my little sister. Takes after our granny. May her memory never fade. She was always restless. Couldn't sit still, and Melissa is just the same. She's always up to something. And you look after our grandpa. And you took after our grandpa. May the river be his featherbed. You're as brave as he was, and just as stubborn. You two looked very confident when you were giving orders to other villages during the fight. Are you in charge here? Well, how should I put this? Our village is too small for anyone to be in charge. We just happen to know a thing or two about using a weapon. So if some nasty creature comes crawling out of the river, we give the orders. But when it comes to fishing or fixing nets, we'll be the ones following orders. We're not an army, and there are no officers here. We all live together, solve our problems together, and serve the Icy Rill together. Although, truth be told, it's only been in the last few years that people have really started listening to us. Before that, villagers kept to themselves, and no one wanted to go poking their nose into anyone else's business. When we first came up with the idea to start trading on the river, the other villagers stubbornly dug in their heels. But after money and goods began to flow into the village, they changed their minds. Yes, the village has been growing. We're getting to see all sorts of things we had only ever heard about before. The year before last, we had a fair, and people came all the way from Canabras to attend. Then a priest came, and we've never seen one of those before in these parts. And now who'd have thought the commander of the Crusaders decided to pay us a visit? And not just a commander, but a child of the Fox people. We hadn't even heard of your kind before the priest told us about you. Lots of wonders in this world. They never stop. What are these grass stalls that hang from the trees in the grove? There's nothing much to tell, really. An old local custom. It's just a ritual. They were very talkative, and then they shut up real fast about those. How is life in the village, now that you've got a priest? Not much has changed. He's a good lad. He does some healing, never bothers us with sermons. Why, he's even learning to fish in his spare time. He also knows a lot of songs, and when he sings, it makes you want to listen. The road wound is not that far away. Have you ever been attacked by demons? No, we've never seen any. Our mother, Icy Rill, keeps us safe. She would never let such abominations get near us. They are not worshipping a god. They're worshipping, like, probably a sea hag or something. I don't know if sea hags exist in this world, but I would assume a sea hag, something of that power, something water-based. I have to go. Back to the front. I can't even imagine the nightmarish creatures you have to fight there. Have a safe journey and a swift victory. Let's look around the village. Maybe they have a trader who we trade with.
Aren't I?
Ooh. Oppressors Gloves. These gloves grant the wearer +2 bonus on persuasion skill checks made to intimidate. In addition, whenever the wearer of these gloves confirms a critical hit, the enemy suffers a -2 penalty on saving throws against mind-affecting conditions for 2 rounds. That's really good for Camellia. Also for me. What about going this way? Okay, here's the village. Fairy Tales of Abiston. Feel free to read it if you like. It's just, probably a story. Well, it's just fairy tales, as it said. Looking for a vendor. Let's pick this lock.
This is my kind of work.
We're just stealing everything from them, are we? Can we talk to them? Is there... Maybe we can talk to... Look, the commander's here. Welcome back. Please stay here for as long as you like. What are those grass stalls that hang from the trees in the grove? There's nothing much to tell, really. An old local custom. It's just a ritual. They say the same thing. They're very, very friendly. A little fucking suspicious, to be honest. This is the way we live out here. We're not wealthy, but things are at least relatively quiet. When Crusaders are near the World Wound, they often experience nightmares when they sleep. Do you have any trouble with nightmares here? No troubles with the nightmares here. The village is located on the outskirts of the World Wound, so perhaps that's why? No, it's those dolls. It has to be. There's probably a place there that we can try to go, but they're not going to be happy about. Or maybe we'll have to come back here later. Is there anywhere we can go? Anywhere else? Doesn't look like it. Oh, let's try going this way.
Let's head out.
That's some deer. Dire wolf.
Let us bide our time. You require my unbiased opinion?
They will break against our resolve.
A solid plan.
Let's take care of. What's this? I just like a dagger and some random items.
We are the light.
We found some wolves.
They are the darkness.
Us.
Please? Someone?
Distract them from me.
Like, the creatures here are very weak, comparatively, to everything else around. Wonder why. Okay, they're gonna run up here.
Let us be careful.
Is that a Megalosaurus? What the fuck is that? Looks like a moose. Are they just glorified moose? Ferocious. We can't even inspect them. Elk. Let's keep going this way, I guess. What's our quest say? Well, we just... Yeah, that's it.
We should prepare.
Neutral evil.
The world has suffered enough.
Anything new?
My will is resolute.
I'm wondering what would happen if
The road awaits. Let's prove their logic is lacking. Aim carefully.
well, they wiped out all of them.
You're irrelevant. Follow my steps.
Is that it? That's it. Why is this place so, like, strange? It's, like, unnerving how peaceful it is. Like, I don't know what else we could do here. I think that's really it. Oh, we had to level up. We're gonna level up and then go to another location, I guess. Right, we are loading into Heaven's Edge, the which is Duke Arenday Deacon's like family home before it was attacked by demons. So he hasn't been back in over 10 years. So we're here now, and we're gonna. Oh, we're by ourselves. Oh, okay. A little strange. We don't even have our horse. This is very curious.
I'm gone.
Why couldn't all these aristocrats just stay in Canabris? Why have a feast in this accursed place? Oh. He's hosting a party.
My not so numerous, but nonetheless dearest guests. About a year ago at my last birthday party, I assured you all that I nurtured a deep-seated hatred for boring people who give protracted speeches in the misplaced belief that their inner thoughts are of any interest to anyone but themselves. Now I am a whole year older and also a full-fledged crusader, an honorable position that requires me to be as dull, pedantic, and vexing as I possibly can. Therefore, a speech it is. The revered cleric Nestrin, my guardian and tutor, often told me that those who live a sinful life may expect to join the abyssal hordes after they die. This is why their path is the most despicable of all. A part of their soul may return to Mendev in the abominable form of a demonic invader. Every time we see a demon, we might as well think about it. What if this wretched creature used to be your great-great-grandfather? What if certain parts of this pointy-tailed beauty used to belong to your pious cousin? They say that the demons represent the sins of the souls they are made of. Succubi emerge out of lustful souls. Vandals turn into Abracandilu. Gluttons become Nabasu. I, for one, am determined to commit as many different sins as possible, so that the distributive mechanism of the abyss breaks when it tries to decide what to do with my soul. You, my dearest guests, will be my assistants in this complicated task. Eat, drink, and indulge yourselves in whatever vices you can. Let nobody leave this house as righteous as they entered it. Live every day like it's your last. After all, nobody knows when that day will arrive, do they?
That was actually a really good speech. That really encompasses his character as a whole. How interesting. Did you find anything interesting? Nothing really. I just took note of a few things. I attempted to find out whether anything unusual or mysterious has happened to the Count over the last 10 years. During my conversations with his acquaintances, two people noted that he never speaks of the revered Nestrin, the priest of Iomade, who was his guardian and tutor. Yet he just mentioned Nestrin in his speech, whatever that might mean. You told me that you tried to find out if anything odd had happened to Darren over the last 10 years. Some of his servants complained about strange occurrences in the house, like objects moving by themselves or candles going out. Of course, that could simply be a figment of their imagination. It is also very well known that the Count often invites various spellcasters to entertain him, and encourages them to use their magic in mischievous ways. Practically the whole Mendev knows that the story about the three drunk wizards and their teleportation race across the roofs of Canabras after a party at the Count's house. What I'm trying to say here is that any fluctuations in residual magic at his house are not at all surprising. There was the matter of the abduction, however. A gang of bandits kidnapped the Count hoping for a ransom, but the only reward they got was death. Afterward, the Count told everyone that he had hired the bandits himself as a joke. The other mercenary squad that freed him and executed the bandits was also in his employ. Oh, hi, Mittens. Sorry, my kitten just jumped up on my lap. Nobody really wanted to delve too deep into this case after confirming the identities of those wretched cutthroats. But there was one disturbing fact about it all, and I don't mean the Count's bizarre idea of fun. The mercenaries who supposedly freed him had also cut off the bandits' heads after they had already killed them. Their heads were cut off? You mean the bandits who attacked Darren? Yes. Perhaps I wouldn't have even noticed its detail had I not visited Heaven's Edge right after the tragic incident. I remember that we also found several headless bodies, both of guests and demons. We thought they had been decapitated during the fight. Darren's the one doing it. I don't remember this. My companions have been finding severed heads among their belongings recently. Strangely, things like this weren't a problem before Darren joined the party. What? That is an alarming coincidence. Now we have another reason to conduct an investigation. It is crucial that we find out what exactly happened at that tragic feast. What do we need to do, Inquisitor? Now that's the hardest part. I need to dive deep into the past of this place, which requires casting several different spells over some time. It would be very convenient for me if nobody interrupted the process, especially the Count himself. I don't think he remembers my face, but a suspicious stranger casting unknown spells might attract his attention. All in all, what I want you to do is distract the master of the house. Right now he's playing host in the very place I'd like to start with. So how do I distract him? I don't know. Maybe your companions can assist you somehow? Or you can take a look around. Perhaps there's something that can help us. I understand. Good luck. Come back to see me when the Count leaves. I will tell you everything I managed to find out and maybe even show you something. Alright. This reminds me a lot of Dragon Age Inquisition with the royal ball. Let's talk to Socio. I can imagine how lovely this manor must have been before the war. I yearn to set up my easel in one of the pleasant little alcoves and paint to my heart's content. Man. So I've somehow landed at the party of a royal brat. Go figure. You never know when or if you get another chance to rest and have some fun during wartime. I'd rather take my chance while I can. Let's look around. Oh, everyone's here. I adore this estate. So much beauty, so many quiet nooks. Excuse me, mittens. Everything here is just so sparkly. I'm just gonna take a look at this thing and put it right back. Honest. Or just stealing shit. You know what? I don't blame him. He fucking dug his little talons into me. Remember? I don't like it in here. This party is stupid. The psychological premise for mortals, attraction to sites of mass murder, or gluttony, which article for my encyclopedia should I focus on now? Let's talk to the servant. Oh, it's you. Do you remember me? I called upon you to save the cow in Canabras. Let's check in here. The door is sealed and looks like it hasn't been opened in a very long time. Nope. Let's head over here. Anything suspicious? Nope. Just some elemental essence. What's this? Stories told us by spirits. The Knight with Harrowed Hands. Canabras' Medium Alliance Publishing. Feel free to read this if you like. Just pause to read. What else can we find? This place is very well taken care of.
Something here.
Oh, we found something. Let's look at this first. 1,000 Revolutions. The Legend of the Pathfinder by Aaron Rorvey. Oh, interesting. A bunch of scrolls. Down here. Ooh. Bracers. Queer Purpose. Rubies. A bunch of gold. A bunch of diamond dust. And counterfeit Derek Sunhammer's jewelry. Let's look at that item that we just received. These bracers allow their wearer to cast healing spells without provoking attacks of opportunity. They also grant +2 on concentration checks. Well, we know who that's going to. Almost immediately. It's going to him.
Let us be careful.
And actually, let's level up real fast. I'll level everyone up. And then we'll cut back to after I'm done. Alright, we are done. Leveling everyone up. It was a pretty interesting level. Full Iron Masterwork Orc Double Axe. It's a mouthful of the name. Shield here. Just take it. The door is sealed and looks like it hasn't been opened in a very long time.
Tread lightly.
Okay, we walked all the way around Knowledge World. There are occasional traces of older masonry and foundation. It looks like the building was reconstructed several times. So maybe not the first time that something bad's happened here. Let's talk to Darren. I've always considered myself an aesthete, not a hero. When doomsday comes, I thought I'd pour myself a glass of 100-year-old wine, sit in the front row, and just watch the world burn. Playing the violin was also an option. Now I'll be damned if I know how I ended up in the 5th Crusade. How did I become a companion of a heroine chosen by Omade? It was our destiny. Sometimes the most casual occurrences dictate our fate's course. I'm afraid that is not always the case. Sometimes it's dictated by alien, but wholly deliberate forces. Tell me more about Heaven's Edge. This estate was once a truly beautiful sight, with its lush gardens and placid ponds. The house itself is not that large, however. This land was part of the border region even before the world wound, so my ancestors took that into account when laying the foundations. The larger the mansion, the harder it is to defend. I'd gladly give you a tour, but I'm afraid that there's not much to see here. I didn't have much time, so my servants only managed to clean up this yard, the Great Hall, and a couple of rooms. There's nothing interesting about them except perhaps the magical firefighting system powered by water elementals. I'm not sure if it's still functional though. So why did you really decide to throw a party at the scene of such a tragedy? What's this ghoulish farce all about? What an odd feeling. It's like I had been lying under the sun in a spectacular meadow in full bloom, and then you barge in to pour a bucket of ice-cold water all over me. Is this how you treat people who invite you to their celebrations? No, you don't have to answer. I could come up with a polite excuse, but I'd rather match your courteous manners and put it bluntly. I do not wish to continue this conversation. Thank you for ruining my mood. I shall retire to my chamber for a time. Interesting. Did everyone just leave? Or they probably moved into the other room. Let's talk to Leoder. I see that you did your part, Commander. Thank you. Now get ready to watch and listen closely. I will unravel the past of this place and try to show you whatever I find. My dear guests, the Lady of Heaven's Edge welcomes all of you today. I hope this day is as bright for you as it is for me, because on this day my only precious, sometimes arrogant, but utterly beloved child was born. A child is usually a reflection of their parents and caretakers, Countess. Will you allow the humble tutor of this young man to address the guest and the man of the hour as well? Can't we have just one day without your sermons? It's my birthday after all. Day, I'm sure the revered Nestrin only wanted to hug you and offer you his best wishes on your birthday. Wait. What's that noise? The sorceress of evil has come to your celebration, mortals. Did you prepare a treat for me too? What do you want, spawn of the abyss? I've already done everything I wanted to. Hey, you, doddering cleric, look around. Don't you notice anything odd? The plague is in your wine, in your food, in the air around you, in your blood. Soon you will all die. Pray to your pathetic goddess and call upon your healing powers all you want. But they're not going to help you. Nothing will help you. I will give you a chance to see it for yourselves, and when I return, the grave realization will have already sunk in its teeth into your throats. Oh, how I love watching mortals in their final desperate hours. The first appearance of the disease and the lily too, one of the many sisters of the accursed Minago. So far, everything I've seen matches the official version of events. Surely the cleric could have done something? I can't say for certain, but I believe there was nothing he could have done. Magical diseases are already difficult enough to cure, and this plague struck very fast indeed. Now we must find out what happened next. What now? I can sense the aftershocks of a very strong outburst of emotions and memories somewhere in the west wing of the house. Something must have happened in one of the rooms, so please check if anyone is in there and distract them if need be. The west wing. Okay. Oh, it's where Darren is.
Follow my steps.
Looks like everyone moved in here, huh? Fun and frolics may shield us from horror and despair, but one should use the shield sparingly. Land's going hard. How can a single family or even a person live in a house large enough for my entire tribe? Compulsive food consumption may be a symptom of several serious neurological disorders. It may also indicate that the food is in question boasts exceptional palatability. Both this place and its owner make me think how deceptive appearances can be, but I cannot deny that the wine here is very good. There's so much food here. If I let Soot eat everything she wants, she'll become twice as fat and won't be able to fly anymore. So Soot is her raven, if you haven't discovered. Why is that raven looks like it's following me? But Camellia. I wonder why the demons who attacked Heaven's Edge chose plague as their weapon. It was so unimaginative. More gyps in this room. I just saw a portrait of Darren's mom, so she was an ASMR too, huh? Some people get a celestial bloodline, tons of money and a title, while others get horns and a slap in the face. That's completely understandable. It's Darren. Commander, I assume that you have an urgent matter that requires my attention? What is this room? Just a random room. I told my servants to make some rooms ready. This is one of the rooms they chose. I am absolutely confident that you won't be able to persuade Camellia to dance with you. Now that is a challenge. I can imagine her either graciously acquiescing or deftly slipping deadly poison into my wine just for suggesting it. Such is our deal as Camellia. You've given me a brilliant idea. I see that you were able to do as I asked. Prepare yourself, this vision might be rather difficult to watch. I'm a little worried. Mother, can you hear me, Mother? Day, my boy, how did you get here? Don't come any closer, this disease. Mother, listen, the revered Nestrin has sealed the gates. He says that he won't let anyone leave the estate. If the plague reaches the larger settlements, nobody will be able to stop it. He claims this is why the demons attacked us in the first place. They knew that we would call upon the strongest clerics to heal us, and those clerics would catch the disease and die as well. The fat baron and his family tried to escape, but 3 armed paladins barred their way and said they would not let them go. Mother, we need help. Canabras is full of clerics, wizards, and demons. Know who else. They might know how to stop it. We need to get there as soon as possible. must obey the revered Nestrin. We are the wards of Mendev, and we must protect our people. If the plague, if it reaches Canobras, thousands of innocent people will die. I don't care about any innocents. You're ill, Mother. You're dying. You must tell them to open the gates and take you to Canobras. They won't listen to me, but you are the lady of the estate. They can't refuse you. I can't. I must. Please leave, my dearest. Don't lose hope. You can still... A convulsion overtakes the Countess's body. Her last words are swallowed by a long, guttural groan. And she passed. Now I have an answer to one of my many questions. Nobody went to Canopus in search of help, because the revered Nestrin didn't let them. He valued the safety of the city more than the lives of his flock at the estate. What a difficult choice it must have been. All lives are equally valuable. How could he refuse to save them just because he thought other people might suffer? The magnitude of potential disaster made him do so, or perhaps it was a matter of his dignity. No one wants to be responsible for wiping out an entire city. I have never been in the revered Nestrin's position, but I know the price of difficult decisions, especially those that you have to make quickly. I have no right to judge him, but we must continue our investigation. The next site I'd like to examine is the Great Hall. That is where we found the remains of Nestrin and the demons. I assume that he killed them in a confrontation, but we must make sure of that. Please, help me clear the area so that I can study it. Alright, let's see what he did. Oh my goodness, he got her. You are an extraordinary dancer, Lady Camellia. You, on the other hand, are an extraordinary liar, Count, and that is the truth, not an insult. I wonder why the demons who attacked Heaven's Edge chose pleasure. Okay. You did it. I'm impressed. Oh there, Remie! Camelia's frosty attitude breaks my heart, but that dance with her was easily one of the best moments of the evening. How are you enjoying my party? Are you having a good time? How about you, Darren? Are you having any fun? Of course I'm having fun. What's wrong? Do you want me to spend my whole life in fear and mourning, blaming myself for what happened? Fine, let's change the subject. I thought the unique ambience of Heaven's Edge and the fact that we're on the very border with the world would make this celebration special. I thought the past would resurface and make itself known. Well, it seems even ghosts don't wish to attend my parties anymore. What can we do to liven up the evening? You know what I think? I think it's time for a drinking contest. Ah, yes. The tried and trusted method for salvaging a doll party. For salvaging anything, actually. I'm ready, but who's my competition? You know what? Me, of course. What's this? The commander herself? The heroine of Canobras? The chosen one is challenging me to a drinking contest? I'm in. Let's drink until one of us falls unconscious or begs for mercy. That was just a little warm-up. I say, up for more? Let's continue. I don't want him to hate me. Whoa, are we done here, or are you ready for another round? Let's continue. Oh fuck, he's good. I can't handle it. My grandfather, or maybe my great-grandmother, put this bottle in the family cellar, and it proved loyal to the scion of the illustrious Arendace. Ha, why didn't I bet you'd lose? My kindness and generosity truly knows no limits. I don't feel very well. Hey everyone, let's go back outside. I need to get some fresh air in my lungs. Here we are again, Commander. So let us take another glimpse into the past. Why are you running from me, my sweet prince? Come on, let me touch you. I'll give you... Get away from him, demon! Let the boy go! By the blade of the inheritor, you touch him only over my dead body. You are pathetic, old cleric. Are you the guardian of this charming little prince? Well, you guarded him in vain. The disease is already circulating in his blood. And soon, He will rot before your very eyes. You won't be able to help him, and I can at least make sure his death is beautiful, clean, and sweet. We'll see about that. Something is wrong, Commander. My spells are not working as expected. It's as if some kind of supernatural explosion occurred here 10 years ago. Blending everything together, the magical auras, the emotions, the memories. I will try again to read it. Could it be dangerous? I cannot say for certain, but it is unlikely. The past is the past, and no one can travel through time except for some uniquely powerful entities, like Aeons or perhaps the eldest of the First World. Even though the past of this place is horrible, it poses no threat to us in the present. Please continue. Just give me a moment to focus. I will try to channel my visions and feelings to you as accurately as possible. Darren, my boy, what is going on? Leoder's muscled shoulders suddenly begin to shake. The vision he is channeling does not change, but you feel something enormous and chilling silently infiltrate the reality around you. The presence of this nameless being becomes almost palpable. Some alien entity is talking to him. Hurry, old cleric. Stop him right now. Do you really want to see what happens when... Save me. Can you save me? The presence thickens into something more tangible. The entity is silent, but you feel your blood pulsing in your temples, and each beat brings a new image, or rather a new notion. Help brings a feeling of relief and safety. Exchange makes the pulse stronger, more demanding. Gate and secret come immediately after. The images become heavier, almost visible. Secret, keep the secret, otherwise, death. 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 The gruesome images whirl through your mind, filling it with pain and fear, and then it all starts again. Help, exchange, secret, death. Nestrin stretches out his shaking hand, suddenly looking like a doddering old man instead of a mighty cleric imbued with holy power. Darren, wait. The thing you're about to let loose is even worse than these demons. Darren's body is quivering like a taut bowstring. His eyes dart from the cleric to the demoness, who is frantically casting protective spells. Demons, saints, I'm so fed up with all of you. Burn! Leoder opens his eyes with a groan, then gets back on his feet. His legs are wobbly, his eyebrow is cut, but he seems not to notice. Sincere sorrow is written on his face, as well as a strong hint of horror. What a misfortune. No, what a disaster. Everything is far worse than I imagined. Are you alright? The strain, the emotions, they overwhelmed me and made me faint like an agitated youngster. It is nothing, really. I will not be able to cast any spells for the rest of the day, but aside from that, I'm fine. Do you understand now what happened 10 years ago? The Quizzer slowly exhales through clenched teeth and says in a low voice, still massaging his temples. Yes and no. Damn it. My thoughts are astray. I'll try to explain everything to you in full detail. Many living things are capable of performing the most extraordinary feats, good or bad, when a deadly threat looms over them. 10 years ago, the young Count found himself cornered in every sense of the word, and he allowed some alien entity to intercede for him. It frightens me that all my experience as an Inquisitor is completely useless in this case. It does not resemble anything I've ever heard or read about. This entity, I think I will call it the Other, possesses uncanny power. It was capable of instantly killing 3 greater demons, a mighty cleric, and a host of other mortals. You saw everything yourself. What's even worse is that this entity, this Other, it is still here. I don't know what exactly this creature is, but I know what it did to the Count. It turned him into a living gateway. The Other is not inside the Count's body. It is not directly controlling his mind. That's why there are no obvious signs of possession. But it is, looking through his eyes. It treats him like a window into our world, and it can instantly step through it to wreak havoc. Whatever havoc it desires. Does Darren know anything about all this? Yes, of course he does. Did you hear what the Other tried to convey to us? Help in exchange for a secret. Death. Death to those who know the truth. It wants to have an opportunity to use the Count as a gateway without anyone knowing. This is what made Darren deny that he remembered anything about the conclusion of the events at Heaven's Gate. What might the Other want? This is the strangest thing about it all. It came to this world 10 years ago, and it's still here, right? All this time it has been watching us through the eyes of the Count. Had it, for instance, wanted to kill Her Majesty the Queen, it would have had plenty of opportunities to do so. The Count can get close to practically every influential figure in Mendev, but the Other refuses to act. or its interest lies in some other sphere. Did the other kill everyone then? The disease was not to blame? Not everyone, just Nestrin, his paladins, and the few remaining guests. Damn it, I know that it was the work of a mysterious omnipotent entity, but it still stings. I was here 10 years ago and I didn't check everything personally, and those who did fail to sense that something was wrong. Could the other be the reason why my companions kept finding severed heads among their belongings back in Canabris? It seems very likely. I am almost certain you are right. People tend to lose their heads when they get too close to Count Arenday anyway. I do apologize, that was inappropriate. Perhaps your gruesome findings are the heads of some cultists who tried to kidnap the Count during the Canabris slaughter? Or perhaps they provoked the other in some way. We have to do something. Yes, now I understand Father Nestrin perfectly. I must make a crucial decision despite a dearth of information. Commander, first and foremost, I must apologize to you. Second, I must ask you to keep this secret. What are you so sorry for? I apologize for dragging you into this mess. You see, the Other, an entity of immense power, stated very clearly that I would kill anyone who found out the truth. Anyone who knows that the Count is actually its living gateway. I suppose this secret is currently known to 3 people on Galarian. You, me, and Count Darren. And that means... Why should I keep it a secret? As soon as the Count finds out that we know his secret, the Other will understand it as well. We do not know what it is and what exactly is the scope of his powers, but we do know that it would dispose of anyone who might reveal its existence. I have made a decision. I will not tell anyone about the discovery we just made, not even the Queen or my superiors. Instead, I will immediately go to Nerocian and sift through all the archives of the Inquisition in order to find out what exactly we are dealing with and how it can possibly be defeated. I may also make some cautious inquiries in other places, including Absalom. Still, I will not reveal the truth until I have found at least some reliable information. I am asking you to do the same. Specifically, do not say a single word about our investigation to the Count himself. So you want me to lead the crusade while carrying a bomb that may explode at any moment? I'm afraid that you won't be able to hide from the consequences when this bomb does explode. It is up to you to decide, though. What are you going to do with Darren himself? At the very least, he is guilty of letting the Other enter our world. Right now, I'm a lot more concerned about the Other, but when we find a way to get rid of this entity, the Count will have to stand trial. Many things about this case are still unclear, including the extent of his guilt. Did he call upon the Other by himself, or did he simply answer its call? Could he refuse its offer, or would it have led to his immediate death? Every detail is important, and every testimony needs solid proof. That is the difference between righteous justice and blind vengeance. I will keep it a secret. You made the right choice. I recommend that you go back to the guests and spend the rest of the evening as you please. Anything else might raise suspicions. I must leave immediately in search of the knowledge we all need so desperately. Farewell, Commander. May the light of Iomade guide your path, and Leoder Hawkway will try to keep your path to triumph clear of any unwanted guests. You know what I just realized? Darren was afraid to come here, and so that's why he did it, because of that fear. Let's go talk to our friends. Oh, there's Socio. I don't want to be complaining, but I'm not sure I'll be able to endure another hour of this outrageous debauchery. Talk to Sia, Lan, and Woljif. Fine, I admit that the celebration wasn't that bad. I even feel less inclined to give Darren a good slap. I've been watching our count and wondering if you imagine his head as a boiling pot, then what kind of brew is bubbling inside? Are we leaving already? Yeah? No? I wouldn't mind staying for a little while.
I'm gone.
There is a common opinion that any party like this one must inevitably end with a fight. If you are trying to encourage me to check this hypothesis personally, then I'd rather observe from afar. Oh, it's you. Okay, yeah, we talked to him. Let's talk to Darren. I don't know if my opinion matters to you at all, but you were the very best guest I could ever wish for. Let's talk to Camellia. She's over here. I like the party. It's a pity it's already coming to an end.
Follow my steps.
Who do we talk to now? Okay.
Let's head out.
Okay, I guess we're all done.
Let
Let's
us
head
be
out.
careful.
And with that, we're going to end the episode here. But thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Have a good one.